It's a really good question, actually. Um, I think it's absolutely happening in the boardrooms of large tech and medium tech and unicorn tech and VC-backed tech. No doubt about it. To the extent that they're okay, that their balance sheet is okay, and their investors have said, "Look, we got your back. We'll do a convertible round, or we'll do a down round, to slight discount if necessary to get you through this. But look, we've got your back." There are many other tech companies, perhaps, that are not as well funded, that are going to really struggle. But for big tech and medium tech, growth tech, unicorn tech, absolutely. As Mike Moritz said, everything's just been turbocharged 5 years, and it's all about data. If it's established non-tech, based on the conversations that I've had so far in the last 4 or 5 weeks, I'm not seeing it yet. I'm not seeing it. In fact, all I'm really hearing is batten down the hatches. And there's a certain expectation. It's conventional wisdom. There's almost an expectation that when this type of crisis happens, beyond the awful health effects and many of the tragedies we hear about with regard to families, beyond that, it's this. Well, it's a crisis, and we have to protect our balance sheet. We have to protect our P&L, and we can't put our company at risk. And that takes over the thinking and the decision making at boardroom level. Even though the BCG survey is saying to the board, 60% of your investment base, your investor base, if you're quoted listed company with institutional investors, are saying, if you're healthy, we want you to focus on growth. We want you to focus on finding acquisitions that are a good fit and well priced. And of course, they're going to be talking about how to automate your operations and collect, first of all, get quality data and collect quality data and make use of it. But I honestly, I'm not convinced, at least in Europe, because most of the discussions we've been having in the last 4 or 5 weeks have been with European companies. I'm not seeing it all. I'm not seeing any of that yet, which is a bit of a concern.
Duccio?
Yeah, I can. Let's say out of the 3 main levers of disruption which I mentioned, so the customer experience, the data part, which is definitely a disruption, and the innovation, I think that the one where, let's say, in terms of mindset, companies, especially established companies, and especially, let's say, I would say in South Europe, are struggling is really data. So I would say that I'm talking about banks, I'm talking about telecom company in Italy. I mean, they have a huge amount of data and they are not using this data. And this is really a question of mindset. But this is the biggest opportunity, for instance, for smaller and younger companies able to exploit all the data, all the information in order to improve the customer experience whatsoever. But this is a challenge, especially in big boards of established Italian companies. Let's say, let's consider this one. We are also in Spain, which is very similar, the situation. Again, I would say UK, US is different, but in Italy, Spain, France as well, big established companies, they don't have this mindset yet.
Yeah, and I think just to add to that, I agree with that, Duccio, 100%. And we've been talking as well to a few Italian companies. I think it's fear that almost subconsciously enters the mind of decision makers. It's a fear. It's this, going back to this comment about, well, is it despair? We've got a fear, and fear puts one into a state of not panic but flight or fight. Not a state of, a powerful state that is operating from a place of being creative and imaginative. And I'm not saying it's easy, of course. It's easy to be an armchair quarterback, but this is the true test of leadership, I think, and comes back to courage.